Today we will be discussing the main themes identified in your set work novel for this year, Tsotsi. This lesson will require that you draw on the content that you have read so that you can link it to a broader message, a theme. The objective of this lesson is to revise the content that you have learned, but more importantly, be able to identify the main themes, support them with evidence from the text, and be able to explain the themes to others. The activities in this lesson will build your confidence in the themes and prepare you for the essay question in the exam. Tsotsi is a novel written by Athol Fugard, a South African. He is an author, playwright, and director who centers his work around the lived realities in Apartheid South Africa in this case. In the novel Tsotsi, Fugard uses his characters and their hardships to address real issues and important themes. A theme is a universal idea or message that can be identified in literature and even just be experienced in broader real life every day. Themes are not stated explicitly, but rather reveal themselves through recurring events. Themes also start to show themselves through certain interactions between characters. All works of literature have themes, and more than one theme can be evident at a given time. Themes form the message or lesson of a story or experience, and is usually what the reader takes away and will remember. The first theme that we are going to discuss today is the theme of lightness and darkness in Tsotsi. First of all, Tsotsi's gang lives in Sophiatown, and they commit their evil deeds at night when it is dark. However, darkness here doesn't merely mean the absence of light. It means not having any light in one's life or in their heart. Tsotsi is a dark character because he lives a life of crime, violence, and hatred. One of Tsotsi's rules is to not disturb his inner darkness. It is the light of a thought about himself or an attempt at a memory that could disturb this darkness. In the novel, we see flashes of light, not literally, figuratively. For example, when Tsotsi has a memory of his dog and his mother. Can you think of any other examples of light in the novel? Or perhaps, could you think of anyone who is a good character who might represent light in a dark space? We know that Tsotsi has a very strong identity at the beginning of the novel. He is a ruthless, cold-hearted killer. However, as soon as he receives the abandoned baby, his life and his character begin to change. Tsotsi becomes more and more unsure about the man he is, as he starts to let the light into his darkness. We can almost say that Tsotsi goes through a little identity crisis. He eventually tries to become a decent human being and sees his younger self and innocence in the baby. Tsotsi even does away with the label of Tsotsi because it means thug. He renames himself his own birth name, David. A very important theme is apartheid. We can see the effects of apartheid throughout the book. Gangs are also prevalent all over the township because children are not in schools and adults didn't receive an education, which leads them to a life of crime. The township is distinctly set aside from the white suburbs, where police patrol the areas to prevent people of color going there. So, the different racial groups lived in separate areas, and wealth was distributed amongst whites only. Tsotsi's mother was taken away from him at a young age because she didn't have a passbook on her. Characters like Morris Chabalala and Gumboot Lamini represent the thousands of men who came to Johannesburg from the rural areas in a desperate search for work. They took part in any job that was offered, which was often mining work. This is a dangerous job, and men wouldn't be able to go home for months. Morris Chabalala unfortunately lost both of his legs in a mining accident in this novel. The company did not compensate him for his loss because they didn't value his life. He now lives on the streets because he cannot work. Can you think of any other examples from the novel where we see the theme of apartheid? I'll give you a clue. Think about why Suki doesn't have contact with her family. Here's another clue. Let's think about the Waterworks Square. Why was there such a long line behind the communal tap? Our final theme for this lesson is redemption and mercy. Tsotsi's journey to self-discovery started when he beat Boston, one of his fellow gang members, for saying that one day he would feel something. Tsotsi literally covers his ears to stop Boston's words. Tsotsi is then given the baby, and he decides to keep it. This forces him to do things that do not usually fit into his normal pattern of life. Tsotsi is actually shaken by the change in himself and the mercy that he shows Morris Chabalala. Instead of killing the man, he spares his life, which is very much unlike him. In the final chapter, Tsotsi visits the church in search of God and dies a redeemed man. Right, now that we have summarized the main themes in the novel and we have drawn on a few examples where we have seen each theme, you now need to demonstrate your own understanding in Activity 1. In this activity, you will tabulate the 4 themes covered today, just like on the screen. I would like you to think of as many examples as you could possibly come up with. Try to be specific as well, and try to provide the chapter in which you found the theme. We will take about 20 minutes to complete this table. It is an individual activity. After we have completed this activity, we will move over to Activity 2. Activity 2 will be group work. Now that we have brainstormed the 4 main themes and have plenty of examples in our books, we are now going to collaborate with our peers to make a poster on a theme. You can share your individual examples with each other and collaborate to come up with new content. Now, for this step of the lesson, I do not want you to simply provide examples on the theme. We did this in Activity 1. Now, you need to link all of these examples to tell me why the theme is important. Why do you think the author wanted to include this theme? And how does the theme affect Tsotsi's life at large? I'd like to challenge you. I would like you to try and relate the theme that your group is working on to your life. I would like you to try and see where that theme pops up in your own daily experiences, or if it doesn't affect you personally, where you might see it around you, so in your everyday surroundings. Activity 2 will be your opportunity to get creative and show the class how well you understand your theme. While each group will only cover one theme, and there will be 5 to 6 members in a group, in return you will receive the other 3 themes from the other groups. So we are all helping each other in this revision process. Once you have finished creating your poster, you will present it informally to the class. You will not be graded for your presentation, but you will be given feedback. You can use your notes, and you can each choose a point to focus on. It's your turn to be the teachers. Here is an example of a previous group poster. Have a look. This group brainstormed the theme of lightness and darkness. As you can see, they got creative and had quite a bit of fun. You will be given 20 minutes of this lesson to work in your groups. You will continue to do this group work for the next 2 lessons, which gives you some time to think about it after the lesson 2. Then we will spend the following 2 lessons presenting the group work to the class. Essentially, we will start this activity today and only finish in about 4 days' time after 4 lessons. Now we are going to choose our groups. There needs to be about 5 to 6 members in a group, and more than one group will do the same theme, and that's okay. I will facilitate this activity and offer groups any guidance that you might need. Good luck and enjoy.